Hi, I'm Mike Comiskey from what used to be Orleans Dodge Chrysler Jeep in New Orleans, Louisiana, the only Dodge Chrysler Jeep store in New Orleans. We have kind of unique issues in the closing of our franchise. I don't think that there's a single dealer in the country that could probably say that they had to buy their franchise, buy their facility, and buy their inventory twice. We opened up for business in April of 2005, 4 or 5 months before Hurricane Katrina. Increased our business by 50% over a period of 90 days from opening. We were a successful, thriving business, employing 62 employees, not counting the partners. You know, very good service business. We're very good parts, wholesale and retail business here. We had quite a bit of fleet business as well with municipalities and the state government pre-Katrina. And here's where it starts getting tough. Post-Katrina, when you're supposed to be taking care of your family and doing normal business, we had to come back and shovel mud and dead fish out of our franchise. And while insurance companies are supposed to be taking care of you, they're raiding you like a bunch of criminals. Chrysler Insurance failed to pay for quite a few vehicles. If you take the vehicles, the principal cost of the vehicles, the losses, you take the interest, statutory penalties, and legal fees, it's into several $million. All of our problems all arose from shortfalls and poor claims handling by Chrysler Insurance, a subsidiary of Chrysler Motors, a subsidiary of Chrysler Financial. You know, they're all one company when they want to be. When they don't want to be, they're all separate companies. We spent several $1 million post-Katrina trying to rebuild this business in a damaged market. I don't think that there's any way that you could possibly gauge what we went through in comparison to other dealers.
He also has the very unique situation of having to reinvest these millions of dollars to put himself back in business. At the same time that wiped him out in his business, it wiped out all of his market. The people that used to be the people he sold to, many of those people are no longer there, and the ones that are have also suffered huge financial losses. This is a dealership that was completely underwater after Katrina. Since that time, they have had to wrestle like other businesses have with tremendous fights in getting their insurance settled. And certainly insurance doesn't come close to covering their losses. But in addition to that, they are dictated by the factory, Chrysler, in how they have to rebuild, how many square feet they have to have, how many stalls they have to have, how those stalls have to be equipped, how many cars they have to purchase. And that whole process had to cost millions of dollars that is 100% the dealer's responsibility to pay because he owns all of that. And in one day, one decision that says, as of 30 days from today, you are no longer in business and we're giving you nothing for the investment in your business, nothing for the several $100,000 worth of tools and equipment tools and parts inventories that you have. None of that.
The first 2 years post-Katrina, our market basically consisted of 20% of what it was pre-Katrina. To subsidize our business that was struggling because you know, the retail business was pretty much gone because the city was gone. You know, cars that we ordered, cars that we paid for, cars that we were paying floor plan on was sent to other dealers unaffected by the flood. Those cars were sold at other dealers where they got the money and the profits. Everybody replaced their cars. Post-Katrina, they all bought 2005 and early 2006 models. That puts the cycle here. We've got about a 29 to 30 month cycle on automobile replacement. You know, it means nobody's buying a car for 29 months. That might not be proper English, but that's the gist of it. Now, on top of all of this, we tried to settle all these disputes in the Motor Vehicle Commission with Chrysler Motors, Chrysler Financial, and Chrysler Insurance. We prepared documentation to try to settle this using common sense. We generated this book. Can't even tell you how many pages it is. Basically in preparation that if you had to go to court. We put forth a good argument as to show them the monies that they owed us. And all they just kept coming back is, pay us what you owe us. They just settled the score. They used the bankruptcy to close us down. There's no other way you can look at it. They don't want to settle, you know, the disputes where they owe you money, but they sure want the money you owe them. Now let's talk about productivity on our part. This list is a list of municipalities, state and local governments in the state of Louisiana purchasing vehicles from this location. United Auto Workers, all these vehicles, these 1,553 cars in 2008, kept a lot of people at the UAW fed. $36 million worth of sales in 2008, but we weren't a viable entity. Give me a break. Let's do a recap on 2008 sales, including fleet and retail, 1,553 new Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep vehicles. Total sales at the franchise, new, used, and service, $36,276,453. We employed 68 employees pre-Katrina. Post-Katrina, we still were rebuilding up until the time of the bankruptcy. We had 38 employees. 32 of those employees participated in our health care. Our total payroll was pennies short of $2 million in the year 2008. Sales tax on vehicles, $2,800,000 in 2008. $171,283 in federal income tax withheld. State income tax, $50,050. Total employer payroll taxes paid in 2008, $145,354. Real estate tax, 1 year, $85,000. Total number of vendors that we did business with here was roughly 42, to the tune of $609,000 of business. The old Chrysler still owes the franchise, which we may never see, $53,863 in rebates that we've been told since a year ago that they were going to pay us. The insurance litigation that's still in effect against Chrysler Insurance, you know, we firmly believe that that's the only reason that we're short of cash. I don't think anybody could have did better under the circumstances. You know, we had to buy our company twice. We bought it once before Katrina, once after Katrina. It's a pretty emotional thing for us. You know, I got a partner that all of this made him sick. He had a heart attack, now he's a diabetic and all. Former employees, 2 of which that used to work here, you know, before the bankruptcy, 2 of them have been evicted from their houses. Well, one is from an apartment, one from a house. That's just the beginning of it. But when just Chrysler alone closed down 17 dealers within driving distance of here in the state of Louisiana, when a mechanic comes back and tells you, man, I can't find a job, you know, that's unheard of in the industry. You know, the office people, they finding jobs, minimum wage jobs. They used to make a really good living here. You know, the Voice of the Employees survey done by Chrysler for the year 2008, we were the top 5% for employee satisfaction. The big question that they asked, does my employer give me what I need to perform my job well? And the answer was overwhelmingly yes, in the top 5% of the country. They don't talk about that stat. You know, we did more here for our employees and we did more for our customers here than they ever asked you to do under normal circumstances. But we went a little bit further because we believed in our city, and I think we represented our brand well, but you know what? It stabbed us in the back.